Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live, talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynn at pghcitypaper.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hey, welcome to the show. I'm a little discombobulated at the moment, but hang on, too many things happening. One phone's going off, the other one is... Listen, I want to apologize for the show yesterday ending, much to my dismay, about half hour in. We simply lost the connection, and I'm sorry about that, but we should hope to do better today. I think Susan would be on the other end. Hello, Suze.
Hello.
Hi. So yesterday I was babbling around, and I was told that nobody could hear me. It just happened. So I just want folks to know. I don't know if we've figured out what that was, but we'll hope it doesn't happen today.
Yeah, let us know if anybody can hear us.
Well, I'm sure they can today. Don't say that because I'll get 5,000 emails.
Okay, don't let us know.
Don't let us know. But if all of a sudden we stop, you can let us know. Okay, so did you watch?
I did.
And
not only did I watch, I was entertained. I did like it.
Yeah.
I liked it much better, actually.
Yeah, I did too. But what I want to know is, on what station did you watch?
Well, I was a little blue that because I'm from, we are so old that we're back from the day when it would be on every network.
Right.
And it wasn't. So I was watching on MSNBC, but then at the very end when Billy Porter was doing his thing, they cut it off. So I had to go, I went to the DNC channel and watched the end of it over there.
Yeah, well, this is what I wanted to suggest, because I did some of that too. I was on CNN, and then I thought, wait a minute, because all of these networks do what they always do, which is try to, interpret what you're seeing, get their own folks in to yak and talk. And I thought, no, I want to see what has been put out there by the party. And so I just went to C-SPAN, which would be the same as I'm going to the Democratic Convention site.
Right.
C-SPAN. And that is the way to watch this. Because
well, I will say MSNBC did not interrupt until the very end.
They didn't?
They did not say a word. I watched the convention. But at the end, they cut away instead of letting Porter
do his thing.
And I went, oh no, you don't, and I just went running. So I didn't miss him because he was very good.
Yeah, he usually is. I didn't see Porter myself. I just sort of fell asleep. It's again hard. It's getting to beyond my bedtime.
Yeah, it's very hard. It would have been hard on me. I think they could have ask the poor people in California to watch earlier instead of always making us watch later, or just watch it delayed if they want, but... Yeah,
something like that. But I have to say that just the little things that, you would miss, I thought it was really well done. Now, I thought there were a few things I'd say, no, get rid of that. But I really enjoyed it more than a regular.
No, I really enjoyed it. I thought, and in the beginning, I couldn't even figure out who Eva Longoria was because it didn't occur to me that she would be there.
Yeah.
But I thought, given that that's how they were going, hosting it as they were hosting it, she did a fine job. They just needed a good reader. Who could read with empathy and compassion, and she did that well.
Yeah. I do have to say the commingling, of celebrity entertainment world but let's be honest. I mean, that commingling is a reality.
Well, and the other thing is, she's also
very much an activist.
Very active. She's an activist. She really is. I mean, she sort of earned her stripes there.
Right. But, there'll be someone different tonight. I forget who. And someone different. But some of it I thought was a little clunky. But overall, the problem is if this is the way we're going to go, we get reduced in some ways to which party has the better television producer.
Oh, well, and, I don't know what we're going to do because the RNC just landed the McCluskeys.
Those are those horrible people from St. Louis with the guns?
Yeah, they're speaking at the RNC.
Fine.
So I think we're fine.
God almighty. Well, there's two realities.
St. Louis's humiliation is now complete. That's all I have to
say. My God. So I don't know if I'm up for watching 4 nights of this, though, I'll tell you that.
Well, I don't know that I'll sit through all of it. I thought last night was really quite moving. I started crying the minute I saw Michelle Obama.
Oh, for God's sake.
And I was a little irritated at myself. I said, just wait for her to actually start talking. But I was on the verge of tears for a lot of the night, and it was really because I was just being reminded that we are not a country of nincompoops, that we do have people that care about us and our country and the world and each other, and that it doesn't have to be like this. And then I found Kasich and Whitman and I'm blanking on the third Republican that showed up at the convention. I thought that was also obviously extraordinary, but I thought I thought Kasich delivered a wonderful speech.
Molinari, right? Molinari.
Yeah.
A woman, but then there's another guy. I don't know. Yeah. But let's remember, Kasich he is like, he makes my skin crawl, but I understand why they did that whole segment that, just telling Republicans it's okay, that this is important. We got to get rid of Trump. But,
the thing is how many Republicans watched? See, this is the thing that I was thinking the whole time. I'm watching. Big deal.
Yeah.
They had my vote 3 years ago. So who else was actually watching?
I think conventions are often meant to rouse the troops. So the expectation that the other people are watching is not always, there. Are you going to be able to watch? I mean, I don't know. You going to watch the Republicans? I mean,
no.
But curiosity might make you do so. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know if I'm.
I would see in that case because I have a limited ability to watch 98% of them without the nausea factor rising immediately.
Right.
And so I would rather watch a curated view of the low spots.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. And I might do that for some of these nights. I have to tell you, the lineup tonight are not my favorite people. So I wouldn't necessarily want to.
Is Clinton on tonight? Why are they having Clinton?
What I want to know is Hillary Clinton ever speaking?
I don't think so. I think Bill's speaking.
Now, just stop and think about that. Because all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, is Hillary Clinton given any time at this convention? Because for her not to be is really pretty astonishing. She being our last candidate for president. So I see that tonight John Kerry, failed candidate, is speaking. Bill Clinton is speaking. Jill Biden, who's always left me cold, is speaking. I don't know. Not my favorite folks. But how would you not let Hillary speak?
Yeah, she is speaking.
Yeah, thank you. On one of the nights, not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight. Who is
no?
speaking
She has
at the Democratic National Convention? Barack, Michelle, Hillary, and Bill.
Yeah,
will all
they
have
to.
primetime speaking slots.
Yeah, you cannot do that. You cannot diss her like that. But in some ways, my sense is I just want the Clintons to go away. Frankly, they exhausted me. I thought that was yesterday.
He was in Oshkosh. And he drew a mighty crowd of 100 people.
Was it just at the airport there?
Yep.
100 people who he told.
Yeah.
Who he told. I couldn't believe this. I mean, I'm sure he said this a million times, but there's something so chilling about just flat out seeing it. Quote, he said in Oshkosh, "The only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Remember that."
Right.
Oh,
yeah. Well, you know he's doing.
Oh, but so if there's 35-40% of Americans,
I know,
who believe him, he is telling them that if
and who will be willing to pick up arms against us when we've stolen their election. Yeah. Yep. I know.
It's That brings me to this fascinating, scary piece in today's New York Times. She says that this bipartisan group of, smart people, former government officials, political professionals, journalists, lawyers, people like that, they got together to do a war game scenario of what could go wrong about the 2020 election. Yeah, right. Yes, with a high degree of likelihood that this election will result in a chaotic legal and political fight, that it is likely that Donald Trump will contest the result in both legal and extra-legal means. And that we have to be ready for this. So one of their scenarios is that if, in fact, he's defeated, would he federalize the National Guard to stop the counting of the mail-in ballots? In other words, if the votes that are in on election night already have him losing. And they say that every time they played one of these scenarios out, the Department of Justice, Bill Barr, had a big role to play. That's not good. Also, state officials had a big part to play. So you see this again, this division with maybe, blue states saying one thing, red states saying another.
Right.
But the other thing they found, and a factor they threw in, was the willingness of we, the people, to take to the streets.
Yep.
Now, but Suze, you just said a minute ago that his folks would be quite willing to take to the streets with their guns. So imagine us pouring out into the streets and his people pouring out into the streets.
I have boxing gloves.
And they point out, other things. That, remember the 2000 election, who can forget, which the Supreme Court decided. And Al Gore, did what honorable people have always done he stepped away. He said, okay, I'm out of here. But do you remember that when they were still trying to count those ballots in Florida, that a mob of Republicans, guys wearing suits, literally stormed one of the counting locations, physically stormed it. So in 2000, you had Republicans ready to show muscle like that, and in fact, they stopped it. You know who was one of the, by the way, in charge of what was then called the Brooks Brothers riot? Guess who was in charge of that?
DeSantis.
Roger Stone.
Oh, of course it was Roger Stone.
Yeah, of course it was Roger Stone. Okay, DeSantis was probably one of the guys banging on the doors. So, anyway, I just leave you with this. My God. The possibility of a major confrontation in the streets is possible. The prospect is, I know, a source of terror and dread, but it must be considered. And here is the guy who headed this project. It's called, again, bipartisan. It's called the Transition Integrity Project. And he said, quote, "The depressing overall thrust of our exercises ended up being that if the Trump campaign is in fact truly determined to stay in power no matter what, and is willing to be absolutely ruthless about it, it's hard to know what would stop that." And then she went on to say, now Biden, of course, could call a press conference, but Donald Trump could call up the 82nd Airborne.
Yep.
And then the final thing they leave us with is the only thing left is what pro-democracy movements and human rights movements around the world have always done, which is take to the streets, sustained mass, peaceful demonstrations. And this is right there in the New York Times today. Get ready. Okay, so now that I've thoroughly, I've made.
I actually stopped reading those kinds of things because it's like it's the same thing as watching horror movies, which I have never enjoyed.
Yeah.
I don't need other people's help scaring myself to death.
No, but when the people who are scaring come with those kind of bona fide.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did not know about this wargaming thing that went on. So, I think it's good to know.
It is, and be prepared for it.
Yeah, and be prepared for it.
Well, that's why I have practiced eye gouging and actual boxing of ears, which is not a fist. It's clapping your meaty palm, part of your fist.
You told me this the other night.
Yes, and then like a plunger, you can pull out their eardrums, and then you gouge them in the eye, or you pull their head forward and start kneeing them. Oh, it feels so good, dear sister Lynn. You bought this guy for me.
Well, because I know you're filled with so much hostility, rage, and potential violence that it would be a good way to get it out. Little did I know.
Well, I'm just in training for a straight
Little did I know how excited you are. So much that this is the second time you brought up eye gouging and destroying their eardrums.
Because I also learned how to do the chokehold, but I can't figure out how to say, "Excuse me, sir, would you quietly just turn around for a second and not move?"
So I could get my beefy bicep around your neck. Yeah, right. So, God almighty. All right, it seems to me that we need a little bit of a respite here. So I've got my science story of the day. This is mind-blowing. Okay?
Okay.
This has to do with sex in the deep ocean. The mating ritual of the anglerfish. And these are not pretty fish. They're scary looking. And they live way, way down in the, inky, deep sea world. So here's what happens. The male who sometimes live their entire lives without ever finding a female, sad. But the males spend their lives desperately looking for a female. And when they find a female, who, by the way, could easily be 60 times his size. So imagine the female is this like whale, huge, and he's like a minnow. And he finally sees her. And he makes a run right at her belly. And he grabs her belly in his mouth. Well, just a little piece of her belly in his mouth. And then his mouth dissolves in a sludge of chemicals that physically fuse him to his bride.
Yuck.
I know! Forever commingling his blood and his tissues with hers. It is grotesque, and it's called sexual parasitism. So some of these guys...
I call that an unhealthy relationship.
So what happens is these little guys grab onto her, right?
Yeah.
And melt into her in part and become, as this piece says, the ultimate live-in boyfriends. And after these males glom onto the female, listen, it gets worse. Their insides rapidly atrophy until little more is left of them than a bulbous pair of testes fringed with gills.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So they become a bulbous pair of testes fringed with gills protruding from the female's body like a sperm-filled saddlebag.
Numb.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, and get this, females of some anglerfish species will have up to 8 males dissolved into them. They'll be swimming around with like 8 huge bulbous testy pairs fringed with gills.
That's a highly successful woman.
Well, I got to tell you, if you want to see I'm looking at a picture. Oh, God in heaven. So, I mean, Homo sapien males do not have a clue how good they've got it, right?
Yeah.
I
was known to cook for my husband.
Yeah, right. They don't have to, like, literally for one night stand, have to literally give their lives, essentially, become nothing more than an appendage, a testicular appendage. Jesus.
You only love me for my testicles.
God. So I had to share that because that's just too good.
All right. Well, that was fun. Do you have a good obit for us?
No, I don't. No good obits today.
No, all the good obits are just railings about
Trump.
Yeah.
Well, like the woman who was on the convention last night.
Mm-hmm.
She said my father's only pre-existing condition was he trusted Donald Trump, and he's dead. Wow. So anyway, a little closer to home, Suze, I just have to, this has to do with something I was talking about yesterday, and it's local, but there was, protest march on Saturday in which a protest marshal was seen on camera literally being snatched off the street by three armed plainclothes guys who throw him into a van and speed away. Plucked him right off Fifth Avenue here. And it was, eerily reminiscent of what we saw and heard about in Portland with the feds. Right.
Yeah.
So all hell breaks loose. The mayor on Saturday night says he saw the video and he was very uncomfortable looking at it, which is a bit of a tepid reply. And then they had a news conference on Sunday in which the mayor again said similar things. And then all hell just kept breaking loose. And the mayor released another statement yesterday saying he had looked at all of the video again, plus apparently one of these guys who snatched the protester had a body camera on, so he saw that as well. And then the mayor pronounced himself livid and said that this will never happen again. The district attorney refused to bring charges. He says there's no way this guy should have been snatched like that. What he was charged with is really just a summary offense. It should never have blah, 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 blah. So everybody has turned on the cops for this. But it took a little while for the mayor.
So I'm just left with let's go back to the beginning.
Why did they do it?
Why would they do that?
They did it because their explanation is the marchers were, it was all about what might happen. They were near where the hospitals in Oakland are.
What part about prior restraint do cops not get?
I don't know.
You aren't allowed to say, I think you're going to commit a crime. I get to stop you before you do. No, that would be convenient, but no, you don't.
Exactly right. And what's even funnier is the cops said they didn't want to create, a situation where that would escalate things. And so they decided to do this strategy, which is supposed to be a low visibility arrest.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Low visibility arrest. Are you friggin' kidding me? So anyway, it was a Keystone Cops thing. But I just wanted to update the mayor seemingly getting more and more freaked out by what he should have been freaked out about the minute he saw it. We have a call.
But all right.
Yeah, okay. Caller, hello.
Hello, Lynn Cullen Live. Hello, Sister Susan.
Hello.
2 quick things. Okay, let's forget about. We don't need any obituaries. Let's forget about testicles. Lynn Cullen Live, I want to wish you a happy anniversary. I don't know if you realize this, and I know you never keep track of it, but I have accidentally on my Apple iCal calendar, thing, I have marked every year August 18th was the day that you did your very first show on the city paper Lynn Cullen Live site. Now, I can't remember. I was actually your first caller, which I think was the second day, and then there was the guy from Cannonsburg. But that's on some hard drive that I have to find. But on my iCal, every year it comes up August 18th. Lynn Cullen will be back on the air. Here's the link, and it's a link to the city paper, to your website, which probably doesn't even work now because I don't know how many years ago it was. But anyway, happy anniversary.
Well,
How
thank
nice.
you. And wait a minute. How many years has it been, do you think? Jeez.
I don't know. I'm going to have to look back because I think it might have been 2006. Because
You're
that's
kidding.
when I think that's the last time I updated my Apple iCalendar. So I think it might have been like 2006 or it could have been 2004. But it was. But
Are
it
you
was
kidding?
At least 2006. It was.
So I've been doing this for 14 or 15 or 16 years?
Well, there were times when you took some hiatuses, and there were some times when there were some problems in the so-called quote unquote studios that you were in. There were some moves, but no, the initial show from City Paper was done on this day in, I don't know, 2004 or 6, I don't know. But
Unbelievable.
I'll have to look up an old hard drive.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Jeez.
Okay, one other quick thing. I agree with you both. I thought that in these times, convention done the way that they did it was much better than having a bunch of people in an arena screaming and clapping for 5 minutes after every sentence. It was so much cooler. It was so great. I hope they can keep it up all week. And here's my one thought, though. Okay, that was Michelle Obama, the last real first lady that we had. Can you imagine if they have Melania try to give a speech?
Well, she'll just steal Michelle's.
Well, I was going to say that, right? Yeah, she's going to try to pronounce the word like I am a black woman. It will be so amazing. Okay,
Empathy.
Look, I have some other things to say about Trump, but I'll let you guys go because I want to hear what you guys have to say. All right. Thank you so much. Love you, Beth. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Roger writes, regarding anglerfish relationships and marriages, sounds like mine. All right, Roger, that was good.
Hope
you won't tell your wife you said that. Oh, God almighty. So, what else I got? It's one horror after another here. I'm trying to steer clear. Shit. No, it's just like one horror. Oh, Susan, I got one little thing here, and then we'll have to go into the horror parts. So because they did this digital convention, all of the people who would normally, I feel sorry for Milwaukee because that was going to be
too.
Yeah, that would have been a big.
It was our moment, our once in a lifetime.
That would have been, a great infusion economically too into the city, and it's just too bad. But so a lot of people who would have had jobs. Because to put on an actual convention, there are so many things that have to be attended to. And I was reading today that one of the things that went the way of, for the dinosaur, because this was almost all digital, is the inflation team, which apparently every convention has had an inflation team. What the hell do you think that is?
It's economics.
No. Inflation. Don't get hung up on the...
Well, so we're at a racetrack. And the people that deal with the tires.
Well, you're getting closer.
Breast implants.
Well, yeah, we're talking about, yes, in putting
implants,
inflating round objects, right?
Okay.
Tires, boobs,
yes,
and balloons.
Oh, the obvious.
Literally, it took a whole bunch of people who were paid to inflate all those balloons that were always hanging and netting right above the convention.
They had an air machine. They weren't exactly sitting around blowing them up.
Well, right, but still you have to think of all those balloons.
Well, what did you think? They came inflated?
No, I didn't think that. They have to inflate them.
Even more interesting is think about all the people that are sitting there cutting up all that confetti.
Jesus. No, machines do that. So here, Barbara has sent me this. It's, I don't know, it's from some publication, which says Lynn Cullen. It's from March 11th, 2009. Lynn Cullen finds new home on Pittsburgh Radio's evening slot. I did?
You never were at night, were you?
No,
You'd have to wait till to drink. That would not have worked.
Well, wait, it could have been earlier, like from 5. It said I debuted on Whammo, broadcasting from 5 to 7 p.m. I have no memory of that. I mean, I have a memory of being at Whammo for a second or two. Okay, so wait a minute. So if that was in 2009, then and that didn't last. And then I went to City Paper. So the earliest I could have started City Paper is 2009, that August. So this is only my maybe 11th, right?
Well, that makes sense because it's just a 6 upside down.
It's a 6 upside down. Okay. Whammo, what a joke that was. Okay. That was one of those things where they found... The intrepid Lynn Cullen. What is it? She will not be... and she persevered. And yet she persevered. Right. All efforts to silence me. Right. So, no, Whammo, what happened there...
Believe me, we've tried.
Yeah. What happened there is that I just... I walked in one day, or I guess one evening. I don't remember it being 5 to 7. I walked in one evening, and I was told that I couldn't go into the studio by this guy who looked like a Secret Service agent. And I said, what? And he said, the station has been sold. You are... to get anything that you have here, I will come with you. And they escorted me out. That had never, I mean, can you imagine finding out? And this is what happened to all the people there. They're just summarily shown the door. And for many of them, unlike me, they'd been there for a long, long time.
With no warning or no nothing. How disgusting.
Isn't that something?
Corporate America, good for you.
Yeah. And
wasn't that one of the buyouts by the Christian radio stations?
They sold a station to, I think it was something affiliated with the Roman Catholic Church.
Whose first thing was to fire everybody involved, yes.
Well, I don't know who. No, it would have been fired by the people who owned Whammo, got rid of them, who, by the way, are a prominent black family in Pittsburgh. Whammo was the black station. I was the only white person on it, I think, at the time. So, yeah. Unbelievable. Oh, God. You know, I absolutely forgotten most of my own history. I don't remember it. And I have an email from, I want to respond to it, from Tom in Penn Hills, who said, I saw that the first violent protest of the Vietnam War was in Madison in 1967. were you a part of this? No. In 1967, I was a little bit further south at Northwestern University, but I certainly remember that.
Our brother was there then.
Bill was there, but he wasn't involved in this. This was something that happened with a group of 4 guys who built a bomb and put it in a building on the University of Wisconsin campus that housed something called the Army Mathematics Research Center. And so this was where the Army was doing research involved. These things happen all the time, that, the Pentagon has really nice contracts that it gives to universities to do research. So these guys wanted to blow up the Army Research Center, and unfortunately, they did not know that this was done in the dead of night, that there was one guy working in the building still, and he was killed. And so, that was the first it was big.
Years later, Eric and I were at, I can't even remember, we were at a probably psychoanalytic convention at a dinner party and met the parents of one of the convicted perpetrators. He was a high-class professor from someplace, and
well, there was a guy. It was probably David Fine's parents.
Yeah, probably.
Because I ended up sort of getting to know some of these people because I later ended up as a reporter in Madison. And when they were caught, one of them is still at large. One was never caught. His name was Leo Burt, and he has never been found. 2 were brothers, Dwight and Carl Armstrong, and I later met Carl, who served a long sentence in prison, and the other one was this, David Fine, who was a little jerk. I interviewed him once. I thought, what a jerk. Anyway, Carl Armstrong I did meet, and when the last year I was in Madison before I came to Pittsburgh was 1980, Carl Armstrong, who was believed to be the leader, got out of prison. So in 1980 he got out, so he served like 13 years. Mm-hmm. He got out, and I was at something where he was going to speak. And he walked into this room of all these lefties and former Vietnam protesters. He walks into the room. I was blown away because the group started applauding him. And he just strode to the front of the room and shut down the applause and said, "Don't applaud me. I killed a man."
Good for
and
him.
I've liked him ever since. It's something that just, he was very compelling that night. Oh, God. We've got a call. Hello.
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 Hi. Hey,
Hi.
You were talking about the National Guard and all that. This is just opinion. I personally think that Trump is going to lose so bad, he won't have a case to make. I kind of think he might lose some of these southern states, and I think he will not have a case to make. There were some things they've written not too long ago about donors. I think only 6 of the big donors won't even have anything to do with him. The country's sired. The part that was behind him soured. You have maybe 31% are going to vote for him, but he is gone. I think he's not going to even have a case to even try to make because he's going to lose. So.
Well, your mouth to God's ear. I hope you're right.
I hope you're right too, but I'm having a little trouble getting to where you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch all that funny business because they were wrong the last time, and I don't pay attention to most of those pundits and all that. Just got to see what's going on the battleground states and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I hope you're right. Yeah. Hope you're right. Father Joseph writes, I think Porky Chedwick, the Torp, was also on Whammo during that time. I don't believe he was a person. No, Porky Chedwick was white. He wasn't on Whammo when I was there. He was on Whammo a lot earlier. Yeah, I think. But yes, thank you. It's not like I was at the time I was there, which is obviously at the end of Whammo. I was the only white person on air that I'm aware of. I did my show, and then Beverly Smith did her show, and she had a huge audience that went well beyond Whammo. Okay, and we have Chuck saying, if the deluge of Biden and Trump ads wasn't enough, now we're being treated to political ads for Sean Parnell, who's running against Connor Lamb. I have something on Sean Parnell. Did you? This guy is such a creep. Susan, remember Connor Lamb? He was the...
Yeah, I do remember Connor Lamb.
Oh, right. Okay, so
the
he's
Democrat veteran who won from...
Who took over a Republican, right.
Yeah.
But the district he won it doesn't even exist now because of...
gerrymandering, yes.
Right, but because, the Supreme Court here in Pennsylvania threw out the congressional map drawn, the gerrymandered map. It's one of the few. Yeah, it was wonderful, and made them redraw, and so his district is now another different district, which he should win, but he's running against this jerk Parnell, who said this on Fox News. I'm going to get the quote so I'm not misquoting. Why can't I do it? Here it is. He says, come on, find me a quotation mark here. Here it is. The idea that a woman doesn't need a man to be successful. The idea that a woman doesn't need a man to have a baby. The idea that a woman can live a happy and fulfilling life without a man. I think it's all nonsense.
What?
And here's another
thing.
Okay. Well, I stand as obvious. I read.
Yeah, I mean,
duh. Okay. So, and here's another one. From an evolutionary standpoint, it used to be women were attracted to your strength because you could defend them from dinosaurs.
It's the incredible, the incredible minds is what is just so breathtaking.
This is who the Republicans run. A guy who thinks that cavemen defended their women from dinosaurs.
In fact, those poor dinosaurs were attacked by mega crocodiles.
God almighty.
Just out there.
And one more. I feel like the whole happy wife, happy life has done nothing but raise one generation of women tyrants after the next. That's who's running against Connor Lamb, ladies and gentlemen.
Women tyrants?
Yes, women tyrants, Susan. Don't pretend you don't know. Women.
See, now I got to put my gloves on again.
Pretend there's Sean Parnell. You should, yeah.
I have rotating wigs.
Oh, my God. Oh, wait, Chuck, I never even got to your thing. So now we're being treated to political adverse Mr. Sean Parnell and Heather Heidelbaugh. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Susan, that's the awful woman who made me quit that TV show I was on.
I remember her.
So she's now running for the Attorney General position of Pennsylvania. Lots of luck, Heather. Lots of luck. Boy, how did Josh Shapiro luck out and get her to run against him? Oh.
Just to show that women are not necessarily for any woman.
Jeez. Oh, my God. She's the one who, oh, my God.
It's like I couldn't even watch that movie about Phyllis Schlafly.
Yeah,
the
right.
Actress playing, I mean, who, whoa.
Yeah. So, yeah. Heather used to, to refute something I'd say, she'd always start with, I'm really ashamed for you.
Oh.
Can you believe it? She would say that. And she lectured me once on anti-Semitism. She lectured me on, oh, my God, what an awful human being. Oh, God.
She lectured you on anti-Semitism?
Yes, she did once. I was, there were times when I was just left with my mouth hanging open. And that show was on Friday nights at 7:30 to 8. And that was the last show I did. Oh, that one where she totally went. I just walked off and said, that's it, I'm done. I was so enraged that the guy who was also on the show, who's a city council president actually, who is a recovering alcoholic, put his arm around me and said, come on, you need a drink. He took me to a bar in Shadyside, and I said, geez, you don't have, come on, this is silly. But man, he ordered me a drink. God bless him. Okay, so.
Yeah,
Henry,
there are a few things more infuriating. Let me just make this a rule, new rule. Christian-splaining anti-Semitism to Jews is never a good thing.
Well, it's like the same thing with, trying to explain
like
racism
white people
to a black person.
Explaining why something isn't offensive to a black person who's offended doesn't work.
No, it just doesn't work. Okay, so Henry says, your whammo story reminded me of this. I remember August 29th. Boy, all these August dates, guys, for two reasons. Wait, August 29th, 2008. First, it was the 25th anniversary of marrying my wife. Well, I guess you would answer. You would remember that. But secondly, that day, Sarah Palin of Alaska was chosen by John McCain as his running mate. Also, that same day was your last day at WPTT. That is right. That is right. I mean, I don't remember the date, but that's another station that, to shut me up, actually changed formats. They didn't sell to the Catholic Church, but this station decided it would. Where did it go? It just went all, it just cheaped out and did syndicated programming. A lot of right-wingers. Yeah. But that they let me go leading in. We had the biggest ratings ever. It was a presidential race. And I not only had the biggest audience I ever had, but that was when I was on C-SPAN. They did my show, all 3 hours. And I still, right now on this computer I'm looking at, have over 8,000 emails I still haven't looked at from that one show.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that incredible?
Really incredible.
Okay, wait, you know what? It was. I mean, just unbelievable. You
want to read them sometime.
Well, I was just thinking, let me go. I'll just jerry pick. Let's see, because mail. Okay.
Jerry pick?
Didn't make any cherry pick.
Oh, cherry pick. Okay.
No, I think I did say jerry pick, though.
You did. You were somewhere in between gerrymandering and picking at random.
Okay, yeah. So, here they start. It's 10/29/2004, not 2008. Hello? It says 2004. Yeah. Okay. Here's one. If Clinton had stated this, what? We are looking at that. Okay, it's just general ranting. I love your show. How often are you on C-SPAN? Ha!
Once.
One brief shining moment.
That was a good one. She did a great rant on that show.
I did. I was hot that day. Watched you for the first time. You're awesome. Finally, a strong voice for we Democrats. I believe you could take both Limbaugh and kick him to the curb. Oh. That's from someone
Don't read
Chicago.
This is just going to depress you.
I know. But there's just, oh my God, there's so many. There were a few nasty ones.
Of course.
I'm hoping to get it. Let me see. Is there one that just looks clearly nasty? No. It was overwhelmingly, it was just ludicrous. But it's 2004. Okay? I'm from Colorado, a battleground state. I never listen to talk shows. I've watched on occasion. Sean Hannity, blah, 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 blah. Well, I could see your weariness as you paused during your break. Bill Cook. I feel bad that I didn't respond to these people, because I always like to respond, but there's no way you can respond to that many people. Oh, man. God, some of these are so long, it's unbelievable. Okay, this guy wrote me a book.
Bill Cook did?
No, Limesgruden. And he ends it with, I could say more, but I've already thrown up once while writing this. Listen, I first wanted to say thank you for what you are trying to do, but what you are doing is not completely without fault. It is a daunting task, and I wanted very much to read 2 poems juxtaposing Nazi Germany and the future of America to your audience. Since your lines were busy, I am attempting to shed light on it. So he's going to where we're heading into fascism. Yep. Isn't that interesting? Oh, and that's just with Bush.
Well, maybe out of the blue, you should answer some of these now.
Well, they might be dead.
Well, that would be creepy.
Well, but that's a long time ago.
I get mail. I still get more mail for Eric than I get for me. And frankly, it irritates me. But, mostly when they ask for his signature. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Father Joseph, thank you. I forgot. Yesterday, Trump tweeted out on the plane back from Wisconsin, he tweeted out, I'm going to make a big announcement. I'm going to pardon someone tomorrow. And big announcement. And it won't be, and I think he said, and it won't be Snowden. Get this. He pardoned Susan B. Anthony.
Okay, now I'm going to throw up.
What?
What did she do?
I don't know. What'd she do? She was arrested for voting illegally in 1872.
Oh, it's more of a voter fraud issue, and of course it was a girl that did it.
And he's saying, I was so surprised that no one ever pardoned her. What took so long? Well, we needed a feminist president like you, Mr. Trump.
Oh, I'm a suburban housewife. I just changed my mind. Ooh, me.
Isn't that something?
Suburban housewife? Who even talks about suburban housewives?
Housewives. You tell me. For God's sake.
I got to tell you, I honestly know more house husbands than I know housewives at this point. If I look among my children's friends.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I know 3 men that stay home to raise the children and 1 woman. And otherwise everybody is just, muddling along. But so, I mean, it's not only in my anecdotal experience, it's not only a misnomer, it's exactly wrong.
God almighty. Okay, so a lot of you are sending me this. Thank you. Thank you all. Barbara Milton, Father Joseph. Oh dear. And remember that disgusting little high school student that Native American guy was,
Yeah. And he sued because.
And he got money for
his insolent expression was mischaracterized.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
He will be speaking at the Republican National.
Oh yeah, right after the McCluskeys. This lineup gets better all the time. Hey, if you can't top this kid for hatefulness, we have the McCluskeys.
Hello? Susan? She disappeared.
I'm back.
What happened?
I think my cheek clicked the phone and it flipped over to another line.
You were okay.
I was animated.
Oh my God! And look what time it is. I had no idea.
Did we animate our way right out of here?
We're
overdue. I got to get on my boxing duds.
Oh dear. Well, pretend it's that horrible Sean Parnell, the one who. Well, it doesn't matter. There's so many possible guys you'd want to punch their lights out. Geez, I didn't even get around to Trump saying that he wants to meet personally with Vladimir Putin before the election.
Of course he does. He needs to get his marching orders.
Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry, Father. Okay. All right. Told Father Joseph.
Yeah, watch it, Lynn.
I know he's really cramped my. I know, but I haven't. I can't help it. But I'm sorry. I said
she's just praying, Father.
No,
okay.
I'm not. Okay. So, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Go punch him.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Bye. And hey, you guys, I'm not finding the. I'd like to end on my usual depressing coronavirus update. But, oh, God. Here it is, Lord. All right, steel thyself. Ooh, that one I like. It's the lowest number I've seen in weeks. 45 new cases in the last 24 hours. Those range in age from 17 years to 91. And one new death, a person in their 70s. Yeah, like me. Okay, apparently no hospitalizations, no new hospitalizations. Well, those are the best numbers I've seen in some time. But you know what happens once we start getting good numbers? Everybody says, "Yahoo!" and then races off to spread some virus around. Open things up, open things up. Oh, God. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And I don't know, I'll be back tomorrow because, I don't have anything else to do. Bye.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.